If you are not one of the chosen ones, this message is not for you. But if something in your spirit has been whispering that something big is about to happen, if you've been sensing a shift in the atmosphere around your life, then listen carefully. Because this message is divine confirmation that you are being positioned for unimaginable increase. God said, "It's time." And when heaven says it's time, nothing on earth can stop it. Have you been feeling a strange pull towards success lately? A deep knowing that wealth, favor, and opportunity are about to find you? That's not coincidence. That's a divine signal. The chosen ones are stepping into a prophetic season of wealth transfer. The world may call it luck or timing, but you and I know it's destiny. You're not just chasing success, you're being prepared to become a billionaire, not by greed, but by purpose. Heaven is raising divine stewards to hold resources that will transform nations and shift the course of history. This message won't resonate with everyone. Only the true chosen ones will feel it deep in their soul and recognize the divine call upon their life. So, if you feel that stirring in your spirit, it's because heaven is confirming that you are part of something much greater than yourself. You are being positioned to receive favor, overflow, and opportunities that others can't even imagine or explain with human understanding. The signs have been all around you. The sudden ideas, the inner nudges, and the unexpected doors opening when you least expected them. God is orchestrating everything perfectly behind the scenes, preparing you for the moment when everything changes in your favor. This is your prophetic reminder. Abundance is chasing you, not because of luck, but because of divine alignment and obedience. Type 888 in the comments if your spirit agrees. That's the number of infinite abundance and divine prosperity flowing into your life now. Like this video, subscribe to Spirit Guide, and share this message with another chosen one, because your billionaire season is about to begin. The prophetic season of wealth transfer. Chosen one, what's happening right now across the world is not random. It's divine. We are living in a prophetic season of wealth transfer, a time when God is shifting resources, ideas, and influence from the hands of the unfaithful into the hands of His chosen ones. The world is watching economies change, systems crumble, and old empires fall apart. But heaven is building something new, and you are part of it. You've probably felt it for some time now, that something big is being rearranged in your life. Maybe you've been through loss, financial struggle, or seasons of waiting, wondering when things will finally turn around. That wasn't punishment, that was positioning. God was preparing you to handle what's coming. Before every transfer, there's a test. Before the promise, there's a process. What felt like breakdown was really breakthrough in disguise. Understand this clearly. When heaven speaks of wealth, it's not just about money. It's about influence, ideas, creativity, and divine resources. True wealth begins in the spirit and manifests in the physical. That's why you've been having prophetic dreams, angelic visitations, and deep spiritual encounters lately. Heaven has been revealing the blueprint of your financial destiny. The divine message is simple. God is entrusting His wealth to those who carry His heart. And that's you. The chosen ones are being awakened not to chase riches, but to channel them. You are not being blessed just to shine. You're being blessed to build, to create businesses, movements, and opportunities that bring light where darkness has ruled. This is the difference between worldly wealth and divine wealth. Worldly wealth inflates the ego. Divine wealth expands the kingdom. When God blesses a chosen one, it's not to make them proud. It's to make them powerful for purpose. Look around. The signs are everywhere. The world's systems are shaking. Traditional power structures are collapsing. But in the midst of the chaos, new ideas, new leaders, and new voices are emerging, and many of them are chosen ones. You are part of a new generation of divine visionaries who are destined to rise. You've been feeling the calling to think bigger, to dream bolder, to step into roles you once thought were impossible. That urge is heaven's confirmation that the season of wealth transfer has begun. The spiritual world recognizes this shift long before the physical world does. That's why lately you may have felt pressure, opposition, or even isolation. The enemy always attacks hardest when promotion is near. But don't mistake warfare for failure. It's evidence that your breakthrough is already in motion. The spiritual realm knows who you are even before you see the full picture. That's why the resistance increased, because heaven's resources are being aligned with your name on them. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Wealth is not evil. Money is a neutral tool. It amplifies whatever energy it touches. In the hands of the wicked, it creates corruption. But in the hands of the righteous, it brings healing, opportunity, and change. That's why God is raising up divine billionaires in this generation. People who will build schools, feed nations, uplift families, and restore communities. You are one of those people. You've been through enough lack to understand compassion and enough pain to understand purpose. Now, you're ready to handle power without losing your soul. This prophetic wealth transfer is not a random blessing. It's a divine assignment. You've been chosen to steward abundance because you know what it's like to live without it. You've been trained through hardship so you can guide others when their turn comes. The financial elevation you're stepping into will not just change your life. It will change the lives of everyone connected to you. But here's the truth. Not everyone will understand this message. Some will think it's fantasy. Others will doubt because their faith hasn't matured yet. But those who know, those whose spirits are vibrating with confirmation right now, those are the ones heaven is speaking to. You've felt the pull, the anticipation, the knowing that something greater is coming. You're not wrong. This is your sign. The chosen ones are stepping into divine favor that will make no sense to human logic. Unexpected opportunities, divine connections, supernatural promotions. Things that would take others years will happen for you in moments. That's not coincidence. That's acceleration. When you're walking in alignment with divine timing, grace replaces effort. You won't have to chase. You'll attract. The prophetic season of wealth transfer is not coming. It's here. And every chosen one who has remained faithful, patient, and obedient is about to witness the fruit of their endurance. God is rewarding those who didn't quit in the dark. You're about to see what it means when heaven multiplies what you've sown in tears. The famine is ending. The overflow is beginning. So, chosen one, stand tall. The shift is not just near, it's active. The divine message is clear. This is your season of supernatural wealth, divine promotion, and abundant favor. Everything you lost will return multiplied. Everything you prayed for is being delivered in perfect timing. And if your spirit knows this message is for you, type 888 in the comments again, a symbol of infinite prosperity and divine alignment. This is the season where the first will be last and the last will be first. You're not behind. You're right on time. Heaven is moving, and your name is written on the blessing that's about to be released. Recognizing the call to abundance. Chosen one, before divine wealth manifests in your life, you first begin to feel it. The call to abundance always begins in the spirit long before it shows up in your bank account. That's why lately, you've been feeling restless in your current situation. You've been sensing that something greater is calling you, that the life you're living now doesn't fit the future that's coming. That unease isn't greed, it's divine discontent. Heaven is stirring your spirit to rise into the abundance you were created for. You've probably noticed it. You can't tolerate lack the way you used to. Mediocrity doesn't sit well with you anymore. You've stopped accepting the narrative that struggle is holy or that poverty equals humility. Deep down, you know that limitation doesn't honor God. You were not made to live small, you were designed to expand. That inner conviction, that quiet fire inside you, is heaven whispering, you were never meant to chase money, you were meant to attract it. Every chosen one reaches a point when their old mindset starts to collapse. Fear around money begins to fade. The guilt of wanting more disappears. You start realizing that wealth, when handled with divine purpose, is holy. It's not about greed, it's about growth. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up for the calling God placed on your life. This is when the call to abundance becomes impossible to ignore. You begin to see that money itself isn't the goal. It's a tool of destiny. It allows you to fund visions, help others, and fulfill your divine assignment. When you understand that wealth is energy, and energy flows toward purpose, everything starts changing. You stop asking, how can I get more? And start asking, how can I serve more? Because in the spiritual law of abundance, service always precedes overflow. This is also the stage where God begins to shift your environment. Suddenly, the people who once influenced you don't resonate anymore. The conversations that used to entertain you now feel empty. You begin craving growth, wisdom, and divine instruction. You start reading, praying, fasting, and seeking direction, not out of fear, but because your spirit knows something big is coming. When God calls a chosen one to abundance, He also begins transforming their circle. You can't carry an old crowd into a new calling. If you've been noticing ideas and visions flowing to you easily, new business concepts, creative plans, or sudden clarity about your next move, that's a sign of divine inspiration. Those ideas are currency from heaven. Every vision you receive carries the potential for wealth, but you must act on it. God doesn't drop money from the sky. He drops instruction. The chosen ones who prosper are those who obey divine instruction quickly. When God says move, you move. When He says start, you start. That's how abundance manifests, through faith in action. Faith. But before the financial breakthrough comes, there's always a mental breakthrough. God will challenge the way you think about money, success, and self-worth. You'll begin realizing that being humble doesn't mean being broke, and being wealthy doesn't mean being prideful. True humility is acknowledging that every good thing comes from above, and true abundance is using it to do good. The chosen ones carry the mindset of stewardship. This wealth doesn't belong to me, it flows through me. And when that realization clicks, something powerful happens. Your vibration shifts. You start attracting opportunities, favor, and divine connections without chasing them. People will begin to notice something different about you. They may not be able to explain it, but your energy will carry authority, clarity, and peace. That's the presence of divine abundance beginning to manifest. Heaven is confirming that your inner world has finally aligned with your destiny. Sometimes this stage will feel like tension between two worlds, the life you have and the life you're meant for. But that tension is transformation. You're not stuck, you're stretching, you're expanding into your next level. Every chosen one feels this pull before a major elevation. It's the universe rearranging itself to match your new frequency of faith. And yes, there will be moments of doubt. Your mind will question, can this really happen for me? But your spirit already knows the answer. The same God who gave you the vision will also give you the provision. All you have to do is keep walking in obedience, faith, and expectation. Remember, divine timing is never late. It's perfect. If you've been feeling that quiet urgency, that knowing that you're meant to be more, to create more, to give more, this is your confirmation. The call to abundance has been activated in your life. Heaven is preparing to release financial favor that matches your divine assignment. But it starts with mindset. Think abundance, speak abundance, and walk in abundance, even before you see it. Faith attracts what fear repels. So, chosen one, start living like your promise is already here. Talk like a billionaire in the spirit before you become one in the physical. Wake up every day with gratitude and expectation because the call has already gone out in your name. Heaven is preparing to fund your purpose. And if your heart feels this truth, type 777 in the comments as a sign of divine alignment and spiritual completion. The number 7 means perfection, and your divine plan is unfolding perfectly. You are not being greedy, you are being called. You are not chasing wealth, you are stepping into purpose. The call to abundance is ringing, and only the chosen ones can hear it. Listen closely, because your name is being written on the next chapter of divine prosperity. The signs you're being prepared for wealth. Chosen one, when heaven is preparing to elevate you into wealth, the signs will begin to appear all around you. Subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. These signs are divine indicators that your frequency has shifted, your mind has matured, and your season of manifestation has arrived. They are confirmations that you're no longer being prepared for small blessings. You're being prepared for overflow. The first sign is a deep sense of peace in uncertainty. You'll notice that even when your physical situation doesn't reflect abundance yet, your spirit feels calm and confident. You just know something big is coming. That's not delusion. That's divine assurance. Heaven gives peace before it gives prosperity, because only a peaceful spirit can handle power responsibly. You've stopped panicking about how things will work out. You've learned to rest in faith. That inner stillness is a powerful indicator that you've passed the test of trust. The second sign is detachment from material obsession. Ironically, before God blesses a chosen one financially, He detaches them from the love of money. You'll find yourself no longer craving luxury for validation. Instead, you crave purpose, freedom, and impact. You start to see money not as something to possess, but as something to steward. That shift in desire is divine preparation. God only gives wealth to those who no longer worship it. You can feel the transition from wanting to impress people to wanting to express your purpose. That's when heaven knows you're ready. The third sign is divine inspiration and new ideas flowing easily. You'll notice that your creativity has increased. Business concepts, inventions, and opportunities begin to come to you in dreams, quiet moments, or even conversations. These are prophetic downloads. They are not just ideas, they are instructions. The chosen ones don't chase wealth through struggle. They receive divine blueprints through alignment. When inspiration flows consistently, that's heaven's way of saying you're ready to receive instruction and manifest it. Write those ideas down. They are the foundation of your empire. The fourth sign is divine connections. You'll begin meeting people who seem to appear out of nowhere, offering opportunities, advice, or access you couldn't have arranged on your own. These aren't coincidences. These are angelic appointments. God positions people as destiny helpers to open doors that effort alone cannot. The chosen ones are surrounded by divine timing and alignment. Every handshake, every introduction, every encounter is part of heaven's networking. When the right people start showing up, your elevation is near. The fifth sign is unusual favor and effortless progress. Things that once took months now happen in days. Projects start succeeding, people respond positively, opportunities flow with little resistance. That's the grace of acceleration. It's what happens when heaven starts to back your movement. Your effort multiplies, and your results become supernatural. The world may call it luck, but the chosen ones know. It's divine favor. You've shifted from striving to flowing. The sixth sign is doors closing that no longer serve you. Sometimes preparation for wealth comes disguised as rejection. Suddenly, old business ventures fail, relationships fade, or opportunities dry up. Don't mourn them, celebrate them. God is clearing your path of distractions and misalignments. He's making room for greater. Every no is a divine redirection to a better yes. When things start falling away rapidly, it's because heaven is pruning your environment for prosperity. The seventh sign is prophetic numbers and synchronicities. You might start seeing 111, 222, 333, 777, or especially 888. The number of infinite prosperity and new beginnings. These are not random. They are heavenly confirmations that your energy has aligned with abundance. Whenever you see these numbers, pause and thank God for what's already unfolding. They're divine reminders that the wealth that's coming isn't just financial, it's spiritual, emotional, and generational. The eighth sign is heightened intuition and discernment. You begin to sense when something or someone is aligned or not. Your spirit becomes sensitive to energy. You can walk into a room and feel whether that space supports your growth or drains it. That awareness is protection. God sharpens the discernment of His chosen ones so they don't lose their blessing through bad company or poor decisions. Trust those inner nudges. That's divine intelligence guiding you to prosperity. The ninth sign is a hunger for wisdom and knowledge. You suddenly want to learn about investing, business, strategy, or leadership. You're drawn to new information like never before. That's not random. That's your spirit expanding to match your future. Divine wealth requires divine intelligence. God will stir your curiosity so you can learn skills necessary for your destiny. The books, mentors, and opportunities appearing now are answers to prayers you once forgot you prayed. And finally, the 10th sign. You begin feeling chosen, not lucky. You no longer say, if it happens. You say, it's already mine. That's divine confidence. You can feel that heaven's hand is on your life, that something much larger than yourself is orchestrating your steps. You stop doubting your worthiness and start walking in authority. You don't chase miracles. Miracles chase you. This level of faith marks the moment your billionaire frequency activates. Chosen one, when these signs start appearing, it's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. You're being aligned with divine wealth and heavenly influence. The process you've endured wasn't random. It was preparation for massive stewardship. God can trust you now because you've proven your loyalty in lack. Now, you will experience abundance that glorifies Him. Pay attention. These signs are your roadmap. The dreams you're having, the people you're meeting, the ideas that keep returning, all of it is heaven's strategy to usher you into your billionaire season. If you're seeing even 3 or more of these signs, this message is your confirmation. Type 888 in the comments again as a declaration that you are ready. Not just ready to receive, but ready to manage divine wealth with wisdom, humility, and power. Your preparation is complete. The signs are here, and heaven is saying, my child, you've proven faithful over little. Now I will make you ruler over much. The spiritual tests before elevation. Chosen one, before divine wealth is released into your hands, there are tests you must pass. Spiritual, emotional, and moral. These are not punishments, they are divine preparations. Every chosen one called to abundance must first be proven trustworthy. God never elevates without testing, because wealth without wisdom becomes destruction. You've been chosen to manage something great, and heaven must ensure that your heart is ready for it. The first test is the test of patience. When you pray for increase, God often responds with waiting. He delays not because you're unworthy, but because He's strengthening your spirit for what's coming. Waiting seasons are not empty. They are classrooms of endurance. You've likely felt stuck, watching others rise while you remain still. But understand, your delay is divine. While others are racing, heaven is refining you. True wealth cannot be rushed. When you learn to wait without fear, to trust without proof, you pass the test of patience, and that's when doors begin to open. The second test is the test of integrity. Before wealth arrives, God will place you in situations that challenge your honesty and character. You'll have opportunities to take shortcuts, to compromise, to gain advantage dishonorably. But each time you choose truth over temptation, you strengthen your spiritual foundation. Wealth built without integrity collapses under pressure. God is testing your heart to see if He can trust you with influence. The chosen ones understand that their name is worth more than gold. Integrity is your currency in heaven's economy. The third test is the test of humility. Before God can elevate you, He must make sure you won't forget Him once you rise. You may go through seasons where you're overlooked, underpaid, or underestimated. These moments crush pride and cultivate grace. When you can remain kind while unseen, grateful while unrecognized, you prove that your ego no longer controls you. The chosen ones rise through humility, not arrogance. Heaven promotes those who remember that all power comes from above. The fourth test is the test of loss. Many chosen ones experience sudden setbacks before breakthrough, financial collapse, betrayals, or unexpected endings. These moments strip away false dependencies and reveal where your trust truly lies. God will remove everything built on unstable foundations to rebuild you in truth. It's painful, but necessary. Loss teaches stewardship. It humbles the heart and refines focus. When you can thank God in loss as much as in gain, you prove that your faith isn't conditional, it's eternal. The fifth test is the test of isolation. Before you step into great abundance, God often hides you. You'll notice fewer calls, fewer friends, and more quiet time. This isn't rejection, it's separation. Divine wealth requires clarity, and clarity comes in silence. Isolation allows you to hear God's voice without interference. In this season, you'll be misunderstood. People may think you've changed or lost interest, but what's really happening is sacred. You're being prepared privately for a public elevation. Every chosen one must walk through solitude before being seen. The sixth test is the test of generosity. Heaven observes how you handle the little before giving you the large. God will send you opportunities to give, even when you feel you have nothing to spare. He's testing your heart. Do you hoard out of fear or give out of faith? Every act of generosity plants seeds for future abundance. When you bless others during your scarcity, heaven marks you as trustworthy for overflow. You'll never outgive the divine. The seventh test is the test of focus. Distractions will increase as you get closer to your breakthrough. Old habits, past relationships, fear, and temptation will try to pull you off course. The enemy can't stop your blessing, but he'll try to scatter your attention so you can't recognize it when it arrives. Guard your time. Guard your energy. When you remain focused on your assignment despite the noise, you demonstrate discipline. And discipline is the key to sustained wealth. The eighth test is the test of gratitude. Sometimes the final stage before abundance is appreciation. God waits to see if you can be thankful for the small things before He multiplies them. Gratitude is the language of increase. When you celebrate progress instead of complaining about the process, you attract more. The chosen ones understand that thankfulness is not just a feeling, it's a frequency. Gratitude raises your vibration to match divine abundance. The ninth test is the test of obedience. You'll receive divine instructions that may not make sense. Leave a job, start a business, move to a new place, or invest in something uncertain. Obedience activates miracles. Every time you trust that inner nudge from the Holy Spirit, you step into alignment with heaven's plan. Delayed obedience is disobedience. The chosen ones who move quickly when God speaks experience accelerated blessings. Remember, your breakthrough is often hidden behind one act of obedience. And finally, the 10th test is the test of stewardship. God will give you small opportunities to manage. a small business, a small platform, a modest income. How you handle these determines how much more He can release. If you waste, you wait. If you honor, you multiply. Stewardship is divine mathematics. Whatever you treat with care grows. If you've been managing faithfully, even when it didn't look like much, this is your sign. You're ready for more. Chosen one, every test you've endured, every delay, rejection, and disappointment has been divine training. You've been refined, not ruined. God was never punishing you. He was preparing you for the weight of wealth. Abundance requires character strong enough to carry it. Many desire success, but few can sustain it. The chosen ones are the few, the ones who can hold power without losing purity. Now that you understand the purpose behind your tests, you can rest in the truth that nothing was wasted. Every trial built strength. Every setback sharpened wisdom. You are being elevated not because you're perfect, but because you've proven faithful. So if you've been feeling like life has been testing you endlessly, congratulations. That's the sign you're close. Heaven tests hardest right before the blessing breaks through. The pressure you feel is the final stage before expansion. The weight you've been carrying is about to transform into wealth. Type 999 in the comments if you receive this message. The number 9 represents completion, and your testing phase is complete. The next chapter is manifestation. Chosen one, you've passed the tests. You've shown faith under fire, humility under hardship, and obedience under uncertainty. Heaven has witnessed it all, and now God is saying, you've proven trustworthy. Prepare to receive what I promised, divine strategies and angelic guidance toward wealth. Chosen one, now that you've endured the tests and proven faithful, you must understand this next phase, the stage of divine strategy and angelic guidance. This is when heaven begins revealing how you'll step into your promised wealth. You will not stumble into abundance, you will be guided into it. The spiritual realm is now opening to release instructions, directions, and divine blueprints for your next move. When a chosen one reaches this level of readiness, angels begin to move with precision around your life. These are not coincidences, they are divine alignments. You'll start to receive what I call prophetic downloads, ideas, concepts, or revelations that come so clearly, it feels as though someone whispered them into your soul. That's because they did. The Holy Spirit and your assigned angels are releasing strategy into your spirit. The wealth you're about to walk into is not worldly. It's heavenly engineered. You may notice that these strategies come in various forms, sometimes through prophetic dreams, where you'll see yourself